Once specified, FaceGen automatically estimates the 3D facial model by modifying the model parameters to best fit the pair of images. Because of the simplicity and versatility of the underlying model, this optimization is relatively fast and accurate. The estimated model can be seen to be in good agreement with the originals. Once estimated, this 3D model can be fit to any image of the same person regardless of head pose. Imagine an oblique head pose, the model at the same pose, and an overlay of a triangulated version of the model onto the original image. Notice that although the model in the middle panel shows the head and neck, this is not part of the estimated model. Only the facial region is estimated, and this is then placed onto a generic head and neck. Fitting the 3D face model to an image of the person involves 3 steps. 1. A rotation of the 3D model to the correct pose. 2. A translation of the 3D model to the correct location. And 3. A projection of the 3D model onto the 2D image sensor to match the appearance of the object in the image. Despite the seeming simplicity of these individual steps, their execution can be difficult. The difficulty arises because of the asymmetry of image formation. The forward projection from 3D to 2D is described by equations that are readily solved, but the inversion projection from 2D to 3D involves equations that must be solved through a complex optimization. An effective technique for performing this alignment is the POSIT algorithm. Pose from orthography and scaling with iterations. A 3D model can be extremely useful in a forensic setting. In addition to the application described before, a 3D model can also be used to determine if the lighting and shadows on a face are physically plausible. This is done by positioning a virtual light in the 3D model of the face until the pattern of lighting and shadows matches the photo in question, or not. This lighting information can also be compared with the shadow analysis described in lines, lines, lines. 3D scene reconstruction. On more than one occasion, I have been presented with a photograph that appears to depict a dubious scene, but a full forensic analysis revealed no evidence of manipulation. Despite not initially finding any traces of manipulation, I was left feeling uneasy about the authenticity of the photo. To dig deeper, I directly examined the aspects of the photograph that seemed suspicious. In this section, I will describe how I used 3D models to validate the plausibility of several dubious photographs. A utility pole in the middle of a Canadian highway, a bizarrely shrunken football player, and an awkwardly posed presidential assassin. The case of the pole in the middle of the road. I was sent a photo of a highly improbable scene showing, according to the accompanying caption, a utility pole in the middle of Highway 251 east of Montreal, Canada. I don't mean a downed utility pole. I mean an upright and functioning utility pole placed directly in the middle of the highway. That seemed strange, but what made me suspicious of the image was the pole's shadow. It appeared to be either missing or impossibly narrow. The image and a magnified view of the base of the pole are discussed here. From the shading on the pole, it is clear that the sun is to the pole's left. This suggests that the pole's shadow should be cast to the right. The shadow on the roadway appears to be in the correct direction, but it seems oddly narrow given the width of the pole. It occurred to me that the pole might have been digitally inserted, that the forger had forgotten to add its shadow, and that the thin black shadow was cast by an overhead cable. Given the simplicity of this scene,